Next, let us talk about the concepts of gender, prejudice, bias, and discrimination, and what is the connection between these three terms. Prejudice is a strong preference, that is, it can be a liking or a dislike without a good reason. Some examples can be some people like dogs, some people like cats. There might be no real reason behind why they like dogs or why they dislike dogs or why they like cats or dislike cats, but they have a strong preference or a liking or a dislike. So similarly, in some countries, there might be a prejudice for or against Asians or Indians or Chinese. And in India, there can be prejudices against North Indians or against South Indians for no valid reason. And prejudices can be for or against gender as well. Now this prejudice, that is the strong preference, liking or dislike, right, can result in bias or it can result in discrimination. If somebody is unconsciously acting on this prejudice, in a sense, a manager might think that he or she is actually being very fair and is following a proper process. But if you look at the data, the manager might be selecting only male employees as compared to female employees. So this might be unconscious. In a sense, the manager is not doing it on purpose. This is just happening because of the prejudice that exists in that person's mind. So gender bias is the tendency to select or prefer one gender over the other unconsciously. Whereas gender discrimination is conscious, deliberate or explicit. That is, the person is purposefully discriminating against one gender or the other because of the prejudice. So bias is unconscious and discrimination is conscious or deliberate. Now, where can this bias or discrimination happen? Well, it can happen at birth. For example, female infanticide is nothing but an example of gender discrimination. It can happen in education, where some parents prefer to spend more money on the education of boys rather than girls. So this can be bias or this can be discrimination. It can be in employment, where men probably get more opportunities than women because managers are consciously or unconsciously selecting one gender over the other. So this can be bias or discrimination. It can be in wages or salaries, where women are generally paid a little less than men. And it can be in opportunities, where men get more opportunities than women. So prejudice leads to bias and discrimination.